What is up, all you try-hard gamers? So I haven't made a video in a while. I haven't really been playing anything but the game that you're about to see now. Um, I haven't even been playing Overwatch that much. I found one of the most amazing games I think I've played in the past probably 5 or 10 years. This game is unbelievable. It's called Elite Dangerous. Okay. Now this video is going to be a guide, a beginner's guide, as well as I'm going to show you some combat, which is to me one of the best elements of the game. But this game is chocked full of content, absolutely chocked full of content. So basically, the way that it works is this, right? So you have open play. And you have solo play. And there are some other modes as well, but we're just going to go over those two right now. Open play, well, maybe I should do this first. If you go over here, if you hit 1 on your keyboard, so you're at your regular screen here, you hit 1, you have a side panel here. If you go to your galaxy map and hit spacebar, I want to show you this. This is how amazing this game is. Just, I cannot say more about this game. So you see, this is where I'm at right now. Okay, let me turn these filters off. And we'll just go ahead because I want to show you these star systems. I want to show you how massive this world is in this game. This is it's basically a space simulation game slash sandbox, okay? So you see where I'm at right there, right? All of these little blips are star systems, okay? And all of these star systems have their own governments. They have their own stations. They have their own planets, which are landable, by the way. A lot of the planets you can land on and hunt for materials, for engineers. There's just God, so much stuff. Look at this world. Look at how large this world is. Look at this. Look at how big this is. That's where I'm at. Little blip in there. All of this is traversable. Every bit of it. All of these systems over here, all of these stars that you see, all traversable. The thing is massive. Absolutely massive. Each one of them with stations. Each one of them with governments. Each one of them with their own factions, their own missions. And no two missions are the same. Absolutely ridiculous. So you might be wondering, you're saying, okay, Mr. Tryhard Gamer, this looks like a lot of stuff, right? So what do I do in the beginning? Well, what's going to end up happening when you buy the game is you have to decide a couple things. Do you want to play in open play, or do you want to play in solo play? And the difference between the two is that in open play, you're out in this galaxy with other players. Okay, so in other words, you can meet other players, you can talk to other players, you can wing up, which is like the jargon for party up in this game. You can do missions together, but there's a downside. They can also blow you out of the sky, right? Of course, at a penalty, because they'll become wanted and maybe they'll be hunted by the police in a certain system. But it is fairly common to uncommon that you'll be on your way with like your haulage vessel, or just moseying on somewhere, and then someone will blast you out of the sky. So, excuse me. What I chose to do in the beginning, and I'm about 500 hours in. I've been playing this game straight. Basically what I would say to do is to play in solo until you have an idea of how to play the game, you know the mechanics, you know combat a little bit, and then if you want to play in open play. So you start in the beginning, like I was saying before, and you get your ship. It's a little Sidewinder. Here, they may have it. Go to Starport Services. I'll show you you guys all this later and what it is. Let's go to Shipyard. Okay, so this is your Sidewinder. This is the starter ship, and you can also buy this ship if you lose it, or if you just want to mess around with it. But basically, you start off in this little thing, and it's okay. It's good for what you need in the beginning. It's not that expensive at all. The insurance on it is not that bad at all. And the number one thing you're going to notice is that you're hindered by credits. Credits is the amount of money that you have, which is basically the gate for a lot of things in this game. So you see here I have 91 million credits right now. This one's 32,000, right? It's nothing. Then we go up to the Eagle, 44,000, 52,000, Viper. And these are not all the ships, by the way, in the game. I think there's only one system that has all ships in it that you can buy. Otherwise, you have to go to other stations to buy other ships. But you're like, well, how do I make credits? Well, you could do a couple things. You could go to what are called signal sources, and I don't know if it will show any on here. I have to be in Super Cruise, I think, in order for you to see that. That's okay. You can go to what are called signal sources, and we'll go over that maybe in another video. And you could just collect stuff and sell it, right? Or the easier thing to do is to go to Starport Services, go to Mission Board, and look at your missions, right? These are, over here on the left, are different factions of the station that you're at, and they have their own reputation bar, and the more that you complete missions for them, the higher that bar goes, and the better missions you'll get for them. So like down here in the available missions, you see boom time delivery of 27 units of food cartridges. So if you click on the mission, right, and it tells you where to go, right, in which system. It tells you what the payout is, and if you use this right here, Open Galaxy Map, it will show you the system that you need to go to. So, like, I believe I'm right here. We know it's over here. You just click on it, and you go to plot route, and it will automatically plot your route. And that's how you get from point A to point B. Then you just take those goods over there, you drop them off, and then come back to this system right here and get your payout, right? You could do stuff like that. One easy thing to do is that you could go into what are called resource sites. I don't know if this system has any. Let's see here. It doesn't look like there's any here. Basically, long story short, you could go into resource sites and do some bounty hunting with your Sidewinder. But I do suggest do not take any targets on by yourself. Wait until the police are shooting at them, and then get some hits on them. And then once that ship is destroyed, when you've got enough hits on it, it will give you the bounty. So what you would do after that, it'll show you up at the top right that you've gained some bounty credits. You go to Starport Services, you go to Contacts, you go to Authority Contact, and it will tell you how much money you have in bounty vouchers, and you just click on it. It'll say like 300,000, however many you've accrued from doing bounty hunting. Now, me personally, I almost specifically bounty hunt in this game because I think it's one of the funnest things to do, which involves some ship combat and stuff like that. But basically what I would say that you do is just do missions until you get a little familiar with the game, maybe do a little bounty hunting, and you could start thinking about maybe, maybe exploring a little bit. going from star system to star system, which is another whole other thing. You can gain money doing that. We'll go over that in another video. But I think right now what we're going to do is we're going to go get into some combat, right? Because everyone loves combat. So before I head out, what I'm going to do is make sure I'm fully stocked up. My ship that I have is called the Anaconda. It's in the large class of ships, and it is amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, I've chosen the auto launch feature on my ship just because I've landed so many times manually and it gets tedious after a while. So we're just going to go down here to auto launch, and we're going to let the docking system take us out. And then we're going to head to a conflict zone and get into some tomfoolery.
Landing gear retracted.
Ship is disengaged from landing pad. Take care when leaving the station.
Starship 240, request engine start.
Copy that. Clearing a flight path for departure.
Oh, we see some cops are fighting somebody out there. That's funny. I rarely see that at stations anymore. So we're gonna come out of auto dock. Okay, a couple things about your HUD here. Over to the right, you see the ship there that's sort of twirling around with the 3 rings around it. That is your ship. The 3 rings around it are your shields. Down at the bottom where you see 100%, that is your hull. Basically, the way it works is that in order to take a ship down, you got to get their shields down, and you have to get their hull to 0. There are some exceptions to that, but for the most part, that's how you do space combat. In the middle, where you see all of the, you see that big circle in the middle with the squares and a little triangle, that's your radar. That tells you where your other ships are that are near you, which is very, very useful. It's necessary for combat. Over to the right of where your ship is at with the 3 rings around it, that's your power system. This is so cool. So cool. So you have weapons, you have your engines, and your system. Now, you have to manage your power in the middle of combat, and as well as doing other things. The more of these little dots, see that? See how I took dots out of engine and I slowed down? It's because I lowered the power from my ship into my systems. Now, when you have, we'll just go from left to right. When you have more power in your systems, that increases the strength of your shields and the resistance of your shields to damage. The engines do what they sound like. It gives you more power to your engines and allows you to fly faster and maneuver better. And then over to your right on your weapons, the more power that you have into them. Let's equal this out here. The more power that you have into them, the lesser that your thermal load will be. It sounds complicated, but it's not really. Basically, let's cycle through to my weapons here.
You've now exceeded the no-fire zone. Safe travels, Commander.
Okay, so these are your weapons. Or these are my weapons, rather. And I'll cycle through these 3 so you can see them. Now, you see the bars down at the bottom of where it says beam laser? That bar, as you fire, will go down. And when it goes all the way down to the left, you're going to have to wait for it to recharge. And that's because of the heat that it's producing on your ship. The more power that you have into weapons, the more firing that you can do with your lasers. And it's similar, not exactly the same, but it's similar with the other weapons that you have. Like, I have beam lasers and multi-cannons. Multi-cannons will stop firing if they don't have enough power that goes into them. So as you're dogfighting and trying to get into position to fight someone, you may come up with a situation like this. Okay, 2 of my rings are down on my shields, and I fired probably 75% of my thermal load on my beams. What do? Right? Well, it's going to depend on the situation that you're in. And so I'm going to think of things like, well, am I taking heavy fire? Because if I'm taking heavy fire, I may just want to route my power to my system to increase my resistance to damage, thermal damage, and kinetic damage so that I can survive longer. Or you could take the aggressive route and just put them basically all into your weapons and try to take them out before they take you out, which is going to depend. It's going to be situational. It's going to depend on what you're fighting, right? So I've got an Anaconda, like I said before, which is a very, very large and powerful ship. And if I'm going up against something like an Eagle, I know this doesn't mean anything to you right now, but if I'm going up against something like an Eagle, which is a very small and fragile fighter, but it is agile, I'm not really too much worried about it doing damage to me, right? So even if I've got like a ring or 2 rings off of my shields, I'm going to put my power into my weapons and blow it out of the sky. So you got to think about that sort of thing while you're in combat. So we'll go through a couple things before we head off to the conflict zone and start doing some battles, because I want you guys to see the dogfighting. It's so amazing in this game. Basically, you have your system that you're in, and then you've got your overmap here of all the systems, and it shows you where you're at. But then you have your system map. Okay, and this shows you all of the planets, including any suns that will be in the system. What's landable. You see this blue circle right here. That tells you that it's landable, that you can land on it. And these little bars right here tell you that there's actually a station on that planet. And then you can go over here, and it'll tell you which station is on which planet. You can select it or deselect it, to plot a course to that area. And you have 2 ways of traveling. One is by frameshift drive. Actually, technically, both are by frameshift drive, but there's sort of like hyperspace, which allows you to jump from system to system. And then there is super cruise. Now, what super cruise allows you to do is to travel within a system. Let's go ahead and select something. I'll show you. Okay, so this is within the system that I'm in, this conflict zone, low intensity. Now it tells you how far away from it that you are. It says 102 light seconds. That just basically means what it sounds like. At the speed of light, it will take you 102 seconds to get there. But down at the bottom, it tells me how long it's going to take me to get there at the current speed I'm at. 1 year. 1 actual year. So how can we speed that up? By our frameshift drive. What you do is you hit J.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
You see how the timer is going down at the bottom? Now, this can be a little tricky, getting from point A to point B within a system. Just basically all you need to know is this. Once you get to about, I think it's under 1 megameter from your place of origin in a system, it will give you a prompt to disengage your frameshift drive, and you will jump into the area that you're trying to get into. Okay, you'll understand what I'm talking about when you do it. The other thing too is that when you see that timer down at the bottom that's going down real quick, when you see that get to about 10 seconds, you want to move your throttle down to about 75%. If you don't, you'll overshoot your target. So We're getting ready to do this conflict zone, which is pretty rough. Conflict zones are like in-game. I'm going to overshoot it. See what I'm talking about? Wasn't paying attention. Alright, so I'm going to have to loop back around. Now, the way that I'm finding this is, remember the radar that I showed you? I'll show you this. The radar that I showed you, up the top left, you'll see another little circle. Let's see if I can get out of the way of that sun right there. And you'll see crosshairs with a hollow circle. That is your compass. That tells you where you are in relation to what you have targeted. If it is hollow, it means it's directly behind you. If it's solid, like you'll see here soon, that means that it is in front of you. So you want to get it right in that crosshair. See, now we're on track to go where we need to go. So let's speed up here just a little bit to try to get into this conflict zone. Now, I mean, so I understand I'm throwing a lot of information at you guys, and if you feel like it's sensory overload, I totally understand. Feel free to watch this video over and over again. There's so much to this game. What I've told you so far isn't like, it's not even a millionth of what is in this game and the things that you have to learn. It's got a pretty steep learning curve, but I promise you, if you stick with it, it is a blast. It's so fun. Ark Survival was like my go-to home game for like a good 4 years. And I quit Ark not too long ago because of server issues. And this game has taken its place. I've not played a game 400 hours straight, pretty much. And I don't mean straight like as in didn't sleep, but without playing much of anything in a long time. And this game I did. This game I did. I was blown away by this game. Alright, so we're slowing down. You see, we're about getting close to under 1 megameter. That's where you see the MM there. Alright, see that J to disengage? Hit J. Alright, now we're in the conflict zone. I need to do some maintenance things here real quick before I get into the battle. I'm going to launch my fighter. This is a whole other thing that I'll explain later.
Roger that. I'm booting up the fighter.
Alright. I'm going to issue orders. We're going to put him on attack target. Okay. Basically what I'm doing is I'm doing conflict zones right now to farm some high-grade materials for engineering. Engineering's an entirely different thing, but basically what it does is it makes your ship badass. Alright, we're going to choose a side. And now we're going to have some fun.
Looks like we got more than one target to contend with, Commander.
Alright, let's see. Let's go for
Have you on the team, Commander?
that Federal assault ship right there. Let's equal out our power. And I'll fire as soon as that chaff wears off. That's why my crosshairs are going wonky.
Under attack. Warning, impulse attack. Trajectory disruption.
Box 3, breaking formation.
It's got chaff running again, so I'm going to lay off. I'm not going to waste the bullets. And I'm not going to waste the thermal load.
Laser overload, diverting power to the weapon.
So I'll try and talk you through this. Over on the left is their ship, okay?
I've got a hostile bearing down on
Oh!
me, Commander.
1 second.
Telepresence link is offline.
Looks
We've
like they
lost
took
you,
my
Commander.
fighter out.
Fighter assembly initiated. Target shields online.
Alright, over on the left is the ship that I've got targeted, okay? He has shields too. The idea is to knock his shields down and take his hull out.
Target shields.
Beam weapons do more damage to shields than ballistic weapons do. So what I want to do is hit him with my beam weapons until his shields are down. And then when his shields are down, I want to attack him with kinetic weapons like bullets or missiles. But the idea is to get him in your crosshairs, which is really hard right now. I'm working on it. Come on. Rammed him. I'm gonna pop a shield cell. Heat sink.
Heat damage.
Man, this guy's tearing me up. Come on.
Heat sink deployed.
Damn it, we just lost another one.
Under attack. Target shields offline.
Alright, we're gonna pop all of our shield cells.
Complete. Warning. Temperature.
Heat sink. I'm probably gonna be taking some damage here.
Taking damage. Warning. Hull breach attack. Taking internal damage. Heat sink deployed.
Come on. I can't get him in my crosshairs. He's out flying me bad.
Hotel 2 Charlie joining attack formation. Watch your back, pilot.
Alright, let's redeploy.
Online.
Copy that. Going live. Stand by. Looks like we got more than one target to contend with, Commander.
Yeah, no shit.
Fighter is now active. Standing by.
Alright. We got him.
Watch your back, pilot.
Target
Boom!
destroyed.
Guy was tearing me up for a while. Alright, let's take out this Federal Corvette. Let's put some power into our systems.
Heat sink deployed.
Prepare to engage.
Alright, this guy's, what, 67% on his hull? I think we can take him.
Prepare to engage.
Under attack.
We may have a battle on our hands, Commander. Multiple hostile ships.
He's about done. Yep, he's done.
Target destroyed.
Alright, let's move on to the next target. Let's change our orders.
Shooting, Commander.
Attack target. Where you at? Federal gunship. Yeah, so over to the very left, that rectangular box, the orange one, it tells you which type of ship you have targeted, so it gives you an idea of what you need to do as far as power, maneuverability, etc., etc. So keep that in mind. Is this guy about 5 kilometers out?
Nice work, Ace. I'm starting to
We're
think
gonna
we can
get.
win this thing.
Under attack.
We need to head towards the police, because if I get jumped by all three of those guys, it's not going to be a good time.
Flight assist
Cobra Mark III.
The fighter's taking a lot of hits, Commander. Doing my best to keep it out of trouble. Hull is critical, Commander. I'm gonna be limping back to the ship if I get out of this one.
Man, that fighter is not doing very well this round.
Initiated.
Box 3, breaking formation.
Come on, stupid chav. Oh! Got multiple fighter. Damn, someone rammed me. Who's on my ass? Come on, you bastard. Shit. It's a gang fuck in here. Oh, that's right, bitch. You ain't getting away.
Allied ship destroyed. Look alive, team.
Or maybe you are. I don't think I can catch up with him. Yeah, we'll let him go.
Target shields offline. Fighter assembly complete.
Alright. Deploy.
Okay, I'm in the hot seat. Initiating deployment. Watch who you're targeting, Commander. Fighter is now active. Standing by.
Let's put some more power into weapons. Shit!
Returning to base. Allied ship destroyed. Look alive, team.
Woo! That's right, motherfucker. Alright, let's get another target.
Nicely done, Commander.
Alright, Federal Corvette coming up. Let's pop shield bank.
Warning. Temperature critical.
Alright, you motherfucker. Let's give orders. Oh, shit.
Roger
All right.
that, Commander. I'm moving into attack.
We might get gang fucked here.
Flight assist off.
Where you at, bitch? There you are.
Assist.
Man, he's got some strong shields.
One Alpha, service added.
Target shields offline.
Yes.
Watch who you're targeting, Commander.
Alright, reloading.
Under attack.
This guy's probably got some heavy firepower, too.
Flight assist off.
Alright.
Flight assist off.
Alright, bitch. Alright, he hasn't taken our shields down yet. Oh, he's about to. He's not taking our shields down yet, and we haven't taken, I think, hardly any hull damage, so we're doing good. He's at about 45%. Right now, he's out flying us. Oh, you're gonna run?
Before their frame shift goes live.
You're gonna run? Power into engines. I don't think so, bitch. Boom! Look at that, 183,000. Alright, let's see. How many shield cell banks do we have? I could risk it. I might take some heavy heat damage, though. Let's go ahead and do it.
Temperature critical. Warning. Taking heat damage.
Taking some heavy blows,
I think it's worth
we
it.
need to return fire.
Alright. Once more into the breach, dear friends. Wait till our heat goes down.
Module malfunction. Under attack. Warning. Temperature critical. Module malfunction. Module malfunction.
Let's even out our power.
Flight assist off. Module malfunction. Flight assist on. Target shields offline.
That's right, bitch.
All ships fall back. We can't win this one.
Alright, we're gonna have to jump out. Because, good guys are jumping out, and we don't want to be left having to fight 50 ships on our own, so we're gonna go ahead and recall our fighter. We're gonna wait for him to dock.
Copy, Commander. Bringing the fighter back to the bay now.
Hopefully we can survive until that that fighter docks on our ship.
Pilot down.
Target shields online.
He's taking some damage too. Come on. Is he docked?
Retrieval complete. Ship is
Alright,
locked
let's
down.
get the fuck out of here.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
So as you can see, dog fighting in this game, I don't know if you thought that was a blast just from watching it, but it is a fucking riot when you're playing it. It is so much fun. So much fun. There's so much attention to detail in this game that was gone into this game, especially just in dogfighting, like the angles of attack and the trajectory of your projectiles, and it's just, there's just so much involved that once you get it down a little bit, it becomes fun once you start getting okay at it. So I guess what we'll do now is I'll dock at this station because I have credits that I got, basically. Vouchers for credits that I got for destroying those ships in conflict zones. So I'll show you guys how to do that, and we'll go ahead and wrap this video up. Oh, actually, you know what we have to do? So, I want to sort of explain something. I was doing a lot of talking about shield cell regeneration. Now, you see how on my ship, right there, on the right, that little icon there, the ring is a little red. Okay, so that means that a certain percentage of my shields are damaged. Now, you saw a couple times during those fights, my shields were almost gone. Okay, now these right here, you can outfit your ship with them. Those are called shield cell banks, and what they do is they allow rapid regeneration of shield cells on shields that have not been completely taken out. The downside to them is that it creates a lot of heat on your ship, and if you don't have any heat sinks which dump heat out of your ship, it will damage some of the modules. Now, it just so happened that I had to pop all of them at once, and I damaged my advanced docking computer. So we're not in trouble here, and this is something that you'll encounter. You'll be doing a lot, probably in game. Let's jump out of Super Cruise here. I'm going to do this real quick. What you want to do is go over to your right panel, go over to Ship, Reboot, and Repair. And what this basically does, it tells you what it does. Shuts down the ship and all of its modules. Broken modules will be repaired by cannibalizing healthy ones. So I want my docking computer back up because I don't like landing manually all the time. It gets tedious. So hit Confirm.
Diagnostic repair sequence initiated.
Power plant capacity exceeded. Shields offline. Warning, hull breach attack. Taking internal damage.
Shields online. Repair sequence
And it's as
successful.
easy as that. As a side note, I love the attention to detail
Shift drive charging.
and the way that you sort of see at the top right. It's sort of going through a certain program while your ship is rebooting. I think that's badass.
4, 3, 2.
All right, let's get to this. Let's get to this terminal, and we'll finish the video out. All right, let's go ahead and dock. And just in case you guys don't know, when you get to a station,
Delacey, Mike, Oscar, Delta. It's good
You have to
have
get-
you with us. Welcome to the station, Commander.
you have to get within 7.5 kilometers. Okay, then you hit the number 1 key, go over to your contacts, click on the contact, request docking.
Access permitted. Land on designated pad number 17. Automated approach engaged.
Scan detected.
Roger that, Commander. Proceed to assign landing pad.
So much attention to detail, and the graphics are amazing.
Scan detected. Landing gear deployed.
All right.
Touchdown. Ground
So,
dispatched.
let's say you did your first conflict zone, and you want to get paid, right? You want to get that cheddar. So what you do is you go over here to Starport Services. You go to Contacts, Combat Bond Contact, and look at that.
Incoming message.
And we got some money. All right, guys, it's gonna wrap it up. Look, if you have not bought this game yet,
Repaired.
this game's been out since 2015. If you have not bought this game and you like space games, buy the fucking game. It is amazing. Absolutely amazing. I will go so far as to say that this is probably one of the best games that I played in the past 10 years because of all the content. I'm going to do a full series on this game. I haven't even gotten to planetary landings and engineering, and there's so politics that you can get into in this game, factions. There's so much shit. So look, if you like space games, go out and buy the game. All right. Okay. So if you like, subscribe, please hit that notification bell. And throw me a comment down there. Let me know how I'm doing as far as the channel's concerned, all right? I love all you guys, and we will catch you guys on the next video.